So now a little bit of working 4-point kneeling. Again, we're thinking of working through the back of the pelvis, through the glutes with this. But also because of the position, we're going to be working a lot of proprioception and nice stability through the shoulder girdle as well. We're onto our hands and knees. Now this is a position that a lot of people can find quite stressful. So a few choices that you can do to change and see if it helps you, especially around the wrist, is have the hands slightly forwards of your shoulders so they're not directly under, you're not too flexed at the wrists. You could come onto your knuckles. You could use your towel and have it folded so that you've got a little bit of softness underneath the hands, or even for part of it come down onto your forearms there. I'm going to work in 4-point kneeling, so hands forwards of my shoulders, knees underneath my hips, and we want to set our neutral position where we're thinking of having a length through the base of the spine. So a good way to do that is to do our cat stretch. Tucking your tailbone under to arch and dome into that stretch, then tilting forwards, allowing the shoulder blades to come together and dipping down through the spine. Keeping the eyes though, looking at that imaginary line between your thumbs on the mat. So don't push the chin forwards. And again, we'll move between those two positions, feeling that mobility through the spine as much as we can, but also then using it to stop into our neutral position, which is halfway between as curved up and as sunk down as we can. So we're trying to stop into a flat back position, nice and long through the base of the spine, and then we lift your tummy button to secure that position just as we've done before. Shoulders are slotted down and the chin stays tucked in. Then we're doing some swimming legs here. So as you breathe out, we straighten one leg, sliding the foot back along the floor. And then we fold that knee to come back in. Over to the opposite, straightening the opposite leg, sliding that leg away, folding the knee to come back to the centre. Ideally, we want to keep the shoulders and the neck as stable as possible. I know I keep turning to look towards you, but you keep your eyes looking down to the mat. And we want to keep that pelvis as level as possible. So the standing, stationary leg stays vertical to the floor. We're not rocking or dipping side to side. And again, we'll alternate that side to side. So it's very functional, like that walking action. One leg, then the other. Up to your 10. Take a pause and then repeat. If this feels okay, a progression then is once the leg is straight, we lift that leg to lift in line with the body. So the knee lengthens away, we squeeze to lift, and then we fold to come back down. Trying to keep that, little dip by me, trying to keep that tummy lifted. Don't take your arms away as I've done there, but trying to keep that tummy lifted to keep the stability across the pelvis. Having said don't take your arms away, if we want a progression from here, and again, you don't have to add this in, but if you're feeling quite comfortable, we can take it into that exercise where we're working the opposite arm and leg. So, centre is set, spine is long, drinks tray placed across the base of the back here. And as you breathe out, we slide the leg away as we lift the opposite arm. So it's in a diagonal. Again, you could keep the foot down to the mat. You could keep the hand down to the mat to start off with. But then as you become more comfortable, we can take it into that challenge where we're starting to lift opposite leg and arm, working through that posterior sling of muscle in that diagonal between opposite shoulder and hip, alternating side to side. Again, up to a maximum of 10. If you need to stop before, please do. Once you've stopped, as long as you're comfortable at your hips and knees, sink back into that pose of the child and just let those arms reach away, nodding your chin to really lengthen and stretch through the spine. Again, this might be a point that you'd like to pause the video to repeat maybe another set. And then again, have a nice sink into that pose with the child and see if you can hold that for a good 30 seconds before coming to rest.